He was a millionaire who had it all: a successful career, a bank account full of zeros, a life of luxury and status. But inside, he felt empty, a loneliness that nothing could fill. The devastating bankruptcy of his company not only destroyed his fortune, but also forced him to face a harsh reality. Did what he had really matter? Money, power, fame. All these material possessions couldn't heal his broken heart. Desperate for peace and trying to escape the ghosts of his past, he sought refuge in a small town, where a simple and quiet life promised a second chance. But what he didn't know was that true transformation was about to happen. Not through a financial turnaround, but through the power of true love. There he meets Sarah, a humble housewife and utterly charming. She's not impressed by his wealth, but sees him for who he truly is. A man who, despite everything, is still searching for something deeper. As he grows closer to her, he begins to realize that what really matters in life can't be bought, but earned through love, trust and hope. In a story that defies all expectations, you will follow the journey of a man who learned that, often, you must lose everything to discover what truly matters. The real meaning of life isn't in material things, but in the connections we make, the moments of love, and the second chances we give. So get ready for an emotional story of love, hope and redemption, where a millionaire learns, the hard way, that true wealth is found in the things money can't buy. Stay with us till the end and discover how this journey of transformation will touch your heart. Ethan Harper never imagined his world would come crashing down so quickly. He, who once controlled a financial empire, was now bankrupt, caught in the middle of a storm of bankruptcies and scandals. What remained of his fortune was a handful of debts, and the arrogance that had defined him for so many years had now become an unbearable burden. He had never known what it felt like to be small until that moment. Instead of facing the media and the judgmental eyes of New York, Ethan decided to seek refuge in a place where no one knew him, a simple, quiet town in the heart of the United States. Bentonville, Arkansas, was his last attempt to find some form of peace. The small town, far from the luxuries and superficiality of the big city, offered the escape he so desperately needed. When Ethan arrived in town, it was like a fish out of water. The winding road and the trees along the hills were all he saw around him. There were no skyscrapers, luxury cars, or expensive shops. Just the calm of a place that seemed to have stopped time. He rented a modest house, far from the town center, with a garden overrun by weeds. He sat in his wooden chair and gazed out the window. He thought about what he had lost and what he still didn't know about this new life he was trying to begin. The town was welcoming, but Ethan couldn't find comfort in it. Nothing, other than the longing for his old life, seemed appealing. How could he possibly start over? The next morning, Ethan decided to venture out and explore the town a bit more. He wanted to learn about the people, the place, and the routine he'd have to adjust to. The local market was small, with simple shelves and the smell of freshly baked bread filling the air. The people here seemed alive in a quiet, contented way, something Ethan had never experienced before. As he walked down the aisles of the market, a woman caught his attention. Sarah Matthews was picking out fruit, wearing a warm smile as she chatted with the other townspeople. Her brown hair was tied up in a simple bun, and she wore a floral dress that seemed to perfectly match the welcoming atmosphere of the town. She seemed calm. Something about her simple, serene demeanor made Ethan feel uncomfortable, as if he were standing before something he couldn't quite understand. He moved over to the vegetable section, trying not to appear like a stranger, but he couldn't help it when their eyes met. Sarah looked at him with curiosity, and a slight smile formed on her lips. "First time in town?" she asked, her voice gentle and inviting. Ethan, still a little tense, gave a slight smile and nodded. "Yeah, I'm adjusting." Sarah continued without hesitation. "You'll get used to it. Bentonville is a good place for fresh starts." It's not very big, but it has a way of making you feel at home." The simple, straightforward response took him by surprise. How could someone with so much money and power feel at home in a place like this? But there was something genuine in her tone. Something that made Sarah want to believe that he was more than the stereotype of a New York millionaire. "I'm Sarah," she said, extending her hand. "And you are?" "Ethan," he replied, shaking her hand cautiously. "Ethan Harper." "It's a pleasure, Ethan. I hope you find the peace you're looking for here." Sarah smiled, and with a friendly wave she walked off, leaving Ethan reflecting on their brief encounter. He watched the door of the market as she walked away, feeling something different. Something he hadn't felt in a long time, a sense of human warmth, of simplicity. But why did it feel so strange to him? Ethan sighed, recognizing that his journey in Bentonville was only just beginning. But something in Sarah's gaze made him wonder if the peace he was searching for could be more than just an escape. In the following days, Ethan found himself bumping into Sarah Matthews more often as he wandered the quiet streets of Bentonville. With each encounter, his curiosity about her grew, but so did his sense of discomfort. She was so different from the women he'd been used to. Simple, genuine, not concerned with status or appearance. One sunny afternoon, while strolling through the town square, Ethan spotted her from a distance, standing at the entrance of the local cafe. Sarah was talking to an older woman, smiling and listening attentively. There was something charming and serene about her presence. Ethan hesitated, but something pulled him toward her. "Hey, Sarah," he said, stopping beside her. "How about a coffee?" She looked up at him with a friendly expression, as if she were happy to see him but without the anxiety he felt. "Sure, Ethan. That sounds great." They sat down together, and Ethan felt an inexplicable tension melt away as they began to talk. Sarah spoke about her life in the town, her daily routine, and the small moments that filled her days. She didn't talk about ambitions or grand achievements but about her love for her family, friends, and the town. For her, happiness wasn't in money but in the simple things in life. "You must think all of this is pretty simple, huh?" Sarah asked, with a shy smile. "Yeah," Ethan replied honestly. "It's very different from what I'm used to." He paused, thoughtful. "But there's something about this town. It feels like everything here has a purpose. It's hard to explain." "Yeah, life here has a way of making you slow down and rethink things," she said, smiling. "Here we're not running after more and more. We're running toward what really matters." Those words struck Ethan in a way he couldn't explain. He looked at her, realizing that there was something genuine in Sarah. Something he hadn't found in his old life full of luxury and power. Life in Bentonville seemed simple, but Ethan still carried the weight of his former life. He didn't know how to feel about the new town, the new life, and especially the growing bond with Sarah. She represented everything he was learning to value, but he was still struggling with his past of excess and wealth. The thought of returning to New York and resuming his former life of success consumed him, especially when he thought about his company and the business ventures he could revive. During a meeting with an old associate who had traveled to Bentonville on business, Ethan was confronted with the harsh reality of his bankruptcy. His former associate made a tempting proposal, an opportunity to restart, recover his fortune, and regain control. But as he listened to the offer, something deep inside told him that he didn't want that anymore. When Sarah invited him for a walk in the town square, he agreed, but he was mentally distant, thinking about the opportunities before him. During their walk, Sarah noticed that he seemed preoccupied and asked if everything was all right. "I've got this chance to return to my old life," Ethan said, looking down at the ground. "And I don't know what to do. It feels like I'm being pulled in two directions." Sarah looked at him with a soft, calm expression. "I understand, Ethan. But sometimes, what we really need isn't more things, but to find something that gives us purpose. You're here for a reason. Maybe you're here to discover something deeper about yourself. He looked at her, moved by her words, but still unsure about the future. He knew he had to make a choice, but he still didn't know which path to take. Over time, Ethan found himself increasingly drawn to the simple life in Bentonville and to Sarah. She helped him see the beauty in small things, the smiles exchanged with neighbors, the peace found in walking through the town, and most of all, the warmth of genuine human connections. Everything he had known before seemed empty in comparison to the deep, authentic bonds he was beginning to experience now. One afternoon, while walking through Sarah's garden, Ethan opened up to her. The cool air of the late afternoon and the soft sound of leaves rustling in the wind created the perfect backdrop for him to finally release his repressed emotions. "Sarah, you have no idea how much life here has changed me," he said, looking at the horizon, trying to find the right words. "I spent so much time trying to have more and more, but I never felt complete. Now, all I want is to understand this feeling I have when I'm with you here in this town. When we're together, with no rush, no worries. I never knew what that was before." Sarah smiled, not in a hurry to respond. She knew that Ethan was undergoing an internal transformation, and his words deeply touched her. Sometimes, people spend so much time chasing things that they don't know what it really means to live. What you're feeling, Ethan, is what many of us here have always known, that the value of life is in what we can offer each other, not in what we can possess. Ethan looked at her, and for the first time, he felt truly seen, without the masks of his past. He realized that money and power had merely been substitutes for something he had never been able to identify: the longing for genuine connection and love. However, Ethan's past wasn't so willing to let him go. One day, his former associate showed up again in Bentonville, bringing with him an irresistible offer: a chance to get back into business, rebuild his fortune, and even resurrect his old company. Ethan was torn. The offer was tempting. He thought for a moment about the financial security it would bring, the material possessions he had lost, and how everything could return to how it once was. But at the same time, something inside him urged him to resist. He had found something here, something no amount of money could buy. Something with Sarah, with the Bentonville community, with the feeling that life could be lived more simply and meaningfully. As he walked down the street with Sarah late in the afternoon, he couldn't help but ask the question that was lingering in his mind. What if I took the offer? What if I went back to my old world? Would I be able to live here with you, without the temptations of my past pulling me back? Sarah stopped and looked directly at him. "Ethan, you have the chance to start over, to live in a way that truly makes you happy. Money will give you comfort, but it won't give you peace. The peace you're looking for is inside you, and in the people you connect with, not in what you have. I don't need anything more than who you are right now, not who you used to be." Her words fell on Ethan like a gentle yet unrelenting rain. He knew he couldn't ignore what his heart was telling him any longer. He had a choice to make, and now more than ever, he knew he had to choose love and a true life, not the past of luxury and vanity. Ethan woke up that morning with a weight on his chest. The meeting with his former associate was still fresh in his mind, and the offer to return to business haunted him. He looked to the side and saw Sarah, lying next to him, with a serene smile on her face. She was sleeping peacefully, and in that moment, he knew the peace he had been searching for was right in front of him. But how could he give up everything he had known, even if that meant abandoning an old dream of success and wealth? He got up quietly, trying not to wake her, and walked to the window. The view of the small town, with its peaceful streets and green fields, seemed so far removed from the hectic world he had left behind. He thought about the sleepless nights, the endless meetings, the business trips, and the elegant parties. But as he looked at the town of Bentonville, he knew that this was real, not a facade meant to impress others. Later that day, Ethan invited Sarah for a walk through the town square. The mood was light, and the golden sun made the landscape shine in a soft, welcoming way. They walked side by side, and the silence between them felt comfortable, something he had never experienced before. "I got the offer again," Ethan began, his voice low. "And to be honest, it's still tempting. The idea of getting back everything I lost. It's hard to let go of that." Sarah looked at him, her eyes reflecting the calm she always exuded. "You have the right to choose, Ethan. But remember, true freedom isn't in what you own, it's in the choices you make. If you go back to that world, it will be hard to turn back. And in the end, what will you be seeking? What really matters?" Her words echoed in his mind. Ethan knew he was at a crossroads. He felt a heavy weight on his shoulders, but at the same time, a new understanding was forming inside him. He was ready to make the most important decision of his life. After many nights of reflection, Ethan finally made his decision. He was to meet with his former associate the next morning, and for the first time, he felt a sense of calm instead of anxiety. He didn't accept the offer. Instead, he decided that his future wouldn't depend on restoring a financial empire, but on building something more lasting and meaningful with Sarah and the community of Bentonville. When he told Sarah about his decision, she looked at him with surprise but also with a smile full of pride. "I knew you'd choose the path that would make you happiest. I don't need what you have, Ethan. Just who you've become." Ethan's decision marked the beginning of a new chapter. He began working on local projects, using his business experience to help revitalize Bentonville in a way that respected the town's values. Rather than accumulating wealth, he invested in relationships, helping those around him and gradually regaining both his self-confidence and the trust of the community. He and Sarah began to build a future together, not rushing, but with a renewed sense of purpose. The love that formed between them wasn't based on luxury or status, but on mutual support and the trust that they were there for each other, regardless of the circumstances. Ethan never imagined he could find a place where luxury and status didn't matter. Over the months in Bentonville, he and Sarah not only built a simple, love-filled life, but also transformed the town around them. Ethan's small actions, like investing in local businesses and helping organize community events, made him a respected and beloved figure. He was no longer just the millionaire who had fled the big city. He was now someone who was part of something bigger than himself. On a sunny autumn afternoon, the town gathered to celebrate a charity event they had organized. Sarah stood by his side, always with her welcoming smile, and Ethan couldn't believe the peace he felt. He was surrounded by people he now called friends, and Sarah's love made him feel richer than he had ever felt, without needing a full bank account to validate his worth. During the event, Ethan took the stage to give a speech. His voice was steady, but his heart pounded in his chest, because for the first time, he knew exactly what he wanted to say. "I spent many years of my life believing that success was measured by what I had. But today, I can say that the true measure of success is in the people we love and the lives we touch. When I came here, I was lost. But I found something far more valuable than money and fame. I found love, friendship, and a new beginning." He looked at Sarah, who smiled at him with eyes full of pride. "If I am rich now, it's because I have everything that truly matters. And my greatest fortune is being with a woman like her, who taught me to see the true wealth of life." Applauded by the townspeople, Ethan stepped down from the stage, but was immediately surrounded by those he now called friends. He felt at peace, knowing that, although he had lost a material fortune, he had found something far more precious. As night fell over Bentonville, and he walked beside Sarah, with a soft breeze caressing their faces, Ethan knew this was where he was always meant to be. A place where love and simplicity were the true measure of success. And so, Ethan's true fortune was no longer measured by gold and silver, but by the genuine love and connections he had made with those who truly mattered. He had found something far more valuable: true happiness. And so, Ethan finally understood that the true wealth of life is not measured by what we have, but by the love we share and the genuine connections we make. By Sarah's side, he found what he never thought was possible: peace, love, and a fresh start, far from the luxury and superficialities of the life he once lived. This story shows us that sometimes we need to lose everything to realize what truly matters. The true value of life lies in the small things: the smile of someone we love, moments of simplicity, and the love we give and receive. If you were moved by this story, go ahead and hit that like, leave a comment with your thoughts below. I love hearing your opinion. And share it with your friends who could use a dose of love and hope. And of course, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any incredible stories that will touch your heart. Thank you for watching, everyone. See you in the next video, where we'll bring more stories showing how love can transform everything.